Hello there and welcome to deciphering yet another occult symbol. But let me tell you something, let me tell you this, and I'm not just saying this. In all of my life, and in all of the symbols that I've encountered and busted and cracked, all of them, I have never encountered one so insulting and blatantly, so obviously staring you back in the face. I've never seen one like this, and I'm so surprised when I did my search on YouTube and across Google, nobody is speaking about this. Not one single person has even made a video hinting at the fact that this might be a negative symbol. Does it really need any explanation to see this and to understand what it is? First of all, if you're familiar with me and you know who I am and you know what I represent, I'm a Lamatologist. And I am an occultist. I'm a white arts practitioner. Let's take a look at this logo here for Admiral. Admiral Car Insurance. It's a company that specializes in insurance and loaning money and things like that. But let's take a look at this. This is frightening. This is absolutely disturbing that it's gotten to this point now where it's so obvious and nobody's even talking about it or raising it. That's going to change though with this video. Now first of all, look at this. Admiral. What is an admiral? Now, an admiral is a commanding officer. It's someone who has authority over others, usually in a military-style fashion. Now, an admiral and a captain are very much connected, wouldn't you agree? Here we have what appears to be a sort of 17th century nautical sailor, a captain, an admiral, a commanding officer from that time frame. Look what he's doing. He's doing the incredibly famous Lamat sextant pose. The pose that Lamat does with his golden sextant on all of his pictures, he is replicating it in this image. Now this isn't something that you see very often, so when I seen this, I was stunned by it. I also want you to take into consideration the fingers here. Let me zoom in real quick. Do you see this? 1, 2, 3, 4. And the thumb is shaded out. It's shaded out completely. And look there, do you see that? That to me looks like a candle, and that is a flickering flame. Do you see it? There's the flame flickering, and there is the candle. Now, the Four Directions philosophy, I've explained this before in previous videos, the Four Directions philosophy is connected to Mayan mythology and to do with Lamatology. It's to do with the occult, the arcane, the esoteric arts, and the summoning of entities both dark and light. Because there has to be a balance of entities. There has to be the yin and yang of both worlds. You cannot just have good or evil because there'd be chaos. You have to have the balance. That's the law of harmony. So you've got the thumb there shaded out completely with this flame. Of course, candles represent magic. When you're doing ceremonial magic, you have to have candles. And that is, of course, a plug to the Four Directions. And if you want to talk more about the Four Directions, let's take a look at this, which is a square. A square has 4 sides. Once again, the Four Directions. Look at the Lamat star. The Lamat star hieroglyph shows very clearly the 4 directions in action, as well as the 4 portals where you draw in positive vibrational frequencies to your auric field, your body. Your energy field, should I say. And it gets even crazier than that, because look at the color of the square itself. It is red. That's right, it is red. Now within Lamatology, the color red represents passion. It's one of my favorite colors. As you can see, I'm wearing it because I believe that wearing bright colored clothing gives you positive energies, as I've said before, in the power of color. But this square here is noted for the color red. And who has the color red associated with them the most within Lamatology? It would of course be the captain. It would of course be the captain's ponytail. If you look on the back of his ponytail, you will see a red hairband. And as well as the sextant, as well as the nautical theme, as well as the captain status, all of this points towards this. And let's take a look even deeper than that. This is absolutely full of symbolism. I've never seen anything like it. What is this? What's that right there? That's a star. That's a star. And inside the star is one of two things. It could be a moon, it could be a half moon, as you can see there, or a quarter moon, or it could be a C, standing for captain. Do you see what I mean? Do you see how blatant this is, and what they're doing to us, what they're programming us with? All of these symbols that I've shown just on this video here have proven I think proven to the viewers that this is indeed connected very deeply. And look again here. Do you see it? 1, 2, 3. The 3 moons ceremonies. Anybody familiar with that? Have we got any Wiccans watching the video? Any pagans watching the video? The 3 moons ceremony is a ceremony of purification for the body to go through during wintertime. And you have to get an altar set up, and you have to go through many different rituals in order to purify your body so that you can get involved in more risky, more dangerous magic. It's usually black magic. It's usually the black arts of sorcery. So here you've got the 3 moons as well as the C. It's been stretched out and it's colored a different color. C for captain. Doesn't even need to be explained, in my opinion. It's so obvious. I mean, as soon as I saw it, I just thought, Jesus, are any more symbols going to jump out at me? And indeed, they did. Now this one here might take you some time to see, but I'd like you to see if you can see this. Because I want to train my viewers to see symbols too. I want them to see them how I see them. Because it's not enough for me to just sit there and explain and hold your hand and tell you what I'm seeing. Do you see this? Do you see it? That's a face. There's his main face, that's his other face, his shadow self, his phantom self, his higher self. There's a concept within Lamatology, I've got it in my book, it's called the Divine Mind. The Divine Mind is the house of creativity, it is the house of passion, it is the house of enthusiasm. And it's a higher version of yourself that doesn't need a body to exist. So you don't need this, this physical shell, this biological shell that exists for you to exist in this realm. You don't need that. And this is a play to the higher self, because here you've got the physical form and you've got the spiritual paranormal form. It's very, very obvious to me. And the way that they've done it is actually quite clever, because it's being done in such a way that it would almost make me think that I could have produced something like this, because it's so very connected to the kind of work that I do. I mean, these symbols are not just made overnight. Serious thought and consideration went into this. And it's actually quite disturbing to see that we have all of these kinds of symbols going on, and they have multiple layers. It's like an onion. You peel it back and it makes you want to cry even more, because you realize how deep and dark and evil it can get the further you dig into it. It really is a serious matter. I'd just like to show you this as well. Do you see this? Now this is my guardian angel. This is Lamat himself, and I've explained this before in many previous videos. The Mayan Ascended Master. Now look how similar this is to the other picture. You've got the sextant pose, the 17th century nautical theme, and you've also got the 4 directions Lamat Mayan hieroglyph. If you cannot see the dots that are connecting to form the puzzle piece, then I think that you are basically inept of doing anything in your life, because to me it is so obvious and so in your face that I think it's quite insulting. I remember I used to have to think about deciphering symbols when I was younger and looking into company logos and car logos and stuff. No longer don't have to do that anymore. Now I just look at them and I see them and the information comes in. It's quite preposterous that nobody else is talking about these symbols. So please do your homework, do your research, and make sure you go out there and let's try and put an end to all of this secretism that's going on out there. I'm the Lamat Man. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.